LeBron season unbelievable. He's 35 years old. It's a career high 10 assists per game. You see the numbers. Giannis, the reigning MVP, is the best player on the best team. His numbers across the board are not only improvements from last year, they're actually better than LeBron's. So let's get into the debate. Big Perk is here with us along with Zach Lowe to have this conversation. And Zach, I will start with you. The freak or the king, who gets your vote for MVP?
I've had Giannis all year. Look, there's a reason we keep mentioning the assists. It's because it's one of only two categories where LeBron is actually ahead of Giannis. One is assists, and the other is three-point shooting. And I hate this because it comes off as disparaging LeBron, who might be the greatest player of all time, having the greatest age 35 season of all time. But there's just no shame in saying Giannis has been better. Every statistic except the two I mentioned, you can do all your advanced stats, all your traditional stats. Giannis is better. His team is better. Yes, LeBron plays in the West, and we can get into roster context and all that, but I just think you stack them up. Giannis is having one of the greatest scoring seasons of all time. 30 points per game in about 30 minutes a game, and he might win Defensive Player of the Year. Perkins going to quibble about that and say Brook Lopez has been just as good, blah, blah, blah. Giannis might win Defensive Player of the Year and average 30 points a game. Historically, that just wins you MVP, and there's never even a debate about it.
I love that Zach is already making Perk's argument for him before Perk even gets a chance. Go ahead, big fella.
Yeah, I see you, Zach. Hey, Granny, nice to see you, man. I've been missing you. But look, check this out, Zach. This is the problem that I have with the MVP award. It changes every year, the narrative. We switch the goalposts. What is it? We're moving the goalposts. What is it? Is it the MVP or is it the best player award? Because to me, like I told you yesterday, Zach, that Giannis got the MVP award, the most dominant player. But when you talk about the most valuable player, I'm looking at the guy who's the most valuable to his team. If you take Giannis off the Milwaukee Bucks are still a good team in a weak Eastern Conference. Let's keep it there because you remember, a weak Eastern Conference was the same thing we was using against LeBron James. You take LeBron James off the Los Angeles Lakers, they might be an 8 seed in the West. That's a big might. And here it is today that we just seen during the pandemic that Damian Lillard, a co-worker that has no agenda, answered the question when he was on the interview and they asked who is no MVP, and he said LeBron James. He could have said himself because he's having an MVP type season, although Portland is not in the playoff. So nice try, Zach. Nice try.
What do you think of that, Zach? The idea that if you took them both off of their respective teams. Kendrick, I saw you responded to a tweet about this yesterday, which I'll get to in a moment. But what do you think of that, Zach?
I have two things. I must have hallucinated when the Lakers acquired one of the top 5 players in the NBA via trade. I must have forgotten about that. And I definitely forgot when everyone in the world was, you know, when like Malcolm Brogdon left in free agency, everybody was worried about the Bucks. Did they have enough talent around Giannis? Now it's the opposite argument being made by. But the other thing is, look, Perk is right in this sense. The Lakers are -1 when LeBron is off the floor and +10 with LeBron. That's an 11-point difference. Guess what? The Bucks are +4 with Giannis off the floor and +16 when Giannis plays. So I don't know why taking an average team and making them really good, that's LeBron, is more valuable than taking a solid team and making them historically great. To me, the historically great is even rarer and harder to do. So I don't know that the on-off numbers really sway you either way. To me, that's kind of a wash, especially when you consider Anthony Davis is there. And just I go with who's having a better season objectively, it's Giannis.
Perk, can I ask you a question? Because I'm riding with you on this one. And the reason I am, and I admit it, is that LeBron is 35 years old. And the fact that he's doing what he's doing at that age is remarkable. And even if I shouldn't take this into account, and I'll make it clear, I do not have a vote. So I'm just giving an opinion. The fact that he's 35 and doesn't have years and years left to do this and Giannis does would factor into my decision.
Well, yeah, but listen, he's 35, year 17. But the thing is, think about this, Green. At the age of 35, this is his first year ever averaging a 20-10 season. So, yes, I understand, and I hear Zach Lowe saying, yes, he acquired Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis never really, held his own. Anthony Davis is a certified Robin. That's his role right now. So I understand now he's a top 5 player because the game is a lot more easy for him. He's not seeing double teams on the offensive end. He actually is able to play one-on-one because of the brilliance of LeBron James and his passing ability with him moving to the point guard. But Zach, this is what I'm saying. Yes, you're giving me what Giannis is doing. But when LeBron James was dominating the Eastern Conference, the whole narrative was that he was in a weak East. But now he's in the Western Conference, and they're number 1 in the West. I think that deserves a round of applause, and that should, that should have a play in the MVP conversation. That's just my opinion.
Should it, Zach?
Well, look, I don't care. I really don't care what the narrative is, and I get what Perk is saying. Some voters sort of are seduced by his story. I don't. I don't care what the narrative is. I sit down every year and say, who is the most valuable player from game 1 to game 82, or in this case, game 65? I don't care conferences, storylines, age, all that stuff is goalpost moving. Who is the most valuable player from game 1 to 65? That doesn't even mean who's the best player in June. That may well still be LeBron. It might be Kawhi Leonard. All I'm trying to do is decide MVP game 1 to 65, and for me, it's a race. LeBron was incredible this year, but for me, it's Giannis.
Well, Zach, if you're going to put it like that, then we should throw Chris Paul in the conversation. Because if you take him off the
Absolutely, why not?
Okay, then, so what are you saying? That's what I'm saying. Well, you throwing out all these historical numbers. I asked you the question at the beginning of the show, what does the MVP criteria, what criteria fits the MVP category? And you said Giannis got all these historical numbers. I said the MVP category, the criteria for the MVP is removing a player from a team, and you tell me where they would be without this player. You said Giannis got all these historical numbers and this, that, and the other. Well, I mean, you just contradicted yourself.
I have to leave it there because the soccer game is going to start, whether we finish arguing or not. Guys, you're the best. Thank you, and we continue this. And I will say that I put the poll question up, and it was awfully close. Look at that. Amongst those voting on my Twitter page, Giannis. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.